everyone, it is me. I am back with another video, and today I bring you Inktober week 2, even though it's practically the end of Inktober week 3, but that's okay. I had a busy week. I didn't get around to recording a voiceover until now. The video was ready on like Monday, and it's Friday now, and I'm only just doing the voiceover. But that doesn't matter. Doesn't really, who cares about all that, Alien in a Box? The video is up. The video is up at the time that you are watching it, and that is all that matters. And it's going to be another long one this week. I was running out of things to talk about last week, going into this blind again, so who knows where the next half an hour will take us. We'll just go with the flow, see what happens. So as you can see in the background, we've got Archie, we've got Monty. This prompt was... I have no clue. I'll be back. Gotta go check. The prompt was the perfect coffee shop. So I thought I would bring back Hot Stuff Cafe, the cafe that Monty works at, and I'll have Archie as a customer at the cafe. So it's like the perfect cafe because your boyfriend works there. So you're like, hey, I don't know how it works. Who cares? But that's what I was going for here. At the start, I was like, ooh, this looks really bad. And in the end, there's like anatomical errors and shit like that, but it's half decent in the end. At this point, I was like, oh, I don't know where I'm going with this, but you'll see, y'all. You'll see. It'll turn out half decent. Can we talk about Archie's arms, please, for a second? They are just not okay. They are not anatomically okay. They're like gorilla arms or something. I don't know, but like, just don't look at his arms, even though you probably didn't notice them until I pointed it out, but that's just how it be. And yeah, I decided to put like a little background of like flowers and stuff, looking really cute. It looks amazing in the end, and I love it. Just ignore what's happening in the foreground because we got like, Archie's arms are like 4 times too long for his body, and then Monty's arms are like 4 times too short for his body. So there's things going down in this drawing that people aren't noticing that I am pointing out, and the cat just like fell off something. Anyway, so yeah, I think I was having like a bad art day that day. I was like not really into it, but that's okay because we got it done, and that's all that matters. Isn't there a saying about that? It's like done is better than perfect or something like that. I don't know, but we're gonna pretend that that's a saying just so that I can get through this. So yeah, not much else to say about this drawing in particular. You can just watch it happen in the background while I la. Yeah, I've lost my words. I've lost them. I've been watching, I don't know if any of y'all know who Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men are, but it was like a show that was on when I was a kid, and apparently it's been going since like the 60s, and my mum watched it when she was a kid, and she showed me one of the episodes from the 60s, and it's honestly so much better than the one that I grew up with, because they're like these little flower pot men puppets, and they live in like flower pots, and there's a weed in the middle, and that the weed talks, and its name is Bebop. And the Flower Pot Men, I love the way they speak. If you just type up Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men 1960s on YouTube, you'll find it. These Flower Pot Men speak like slobberbob, scobberhobberdob, oh ho 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 ho, and then the other one's like skibbidolobberbob, gobberdada, ah. And I sound like I'm absolutely insane, but it's the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life, and I'm obsessed with it, and I'm beginning to speak like that when I just can't think of words. I just start a skibbidoo, oh ho ho ho. So I should probably start forming sentences now for your sake, so that you don't have to listen to that for the whole video. So this is, I think we're wrapping up this drawing at the moment, doing some shading, looking good. You can see how it started to come together by the end, and yeah, things were looking good. I decided to outline the background a little bit, and it just sort of brought it, I don't know what it did. I'm trying to sound artistic. I don't know what it did. It just made it look better. And then we got Archie's scar, which I literally just scribble and then lower the opacity, then scribble again. And then you get this. And I think it turned out pretty good, apart from the chicken wing arms that I was talking about. And then on to the next one. This one I was super excited about. So the prompt was contemporary night, and I can't even say contemporary, let alone understand it. Like, I did like how many years did I go to high school? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 5 years. 5 years of visual arts, hearing the word contemporary like every single day. I still don't know what it means. Like, I kind of know what it means, but I just can't be bothered figuring it out. It's one of those words that no matter how many times I look up the definition, it just doesn't stick in my brain. So I was like, how about we just screw the word contemporary and we go with night instead? So I did Adair and Emilio in the night AU that I haven't drawn for like a year. And I freaking love them in this AU so much, okay? My cat is like scratching around in the background, so if you hear that, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna ignore it. So I looked up the definition of contemporary in relation to art, and it's art produced today, basically, in the present, whatever. So I don't even have to try. This is contemporary because I made it in the present. So let's just pretend that that's a thing. And yeah, I just love how this one turned out. I loved how the colors turned out, the anatomy, the pose, the concept, everything about it I loved. It took me a long time, but I don't care because I love the way it turned out in the end. And we've got like a little sunflower thing that speaks, and that's becoming like a recurring theme in some of my drawings. People have pointed out that it gives them Undertale vibes, and I haven't played Undertale, I've just seen Dan and Phil play it, so I have like a vague knowledge of Undertale. So it wasn't my intention to make a talking sunflower, it just happened. Like one day I drew a dare, and he was looking to the right of the page, and I was like, there needs to be something there. What is he looking at? But I didn't have a lot of space. So I was like, I'll just draw a flower with a face, because he looked kind of shocked. And I was like, what would shock you? A flower with a face. So I drew a sunflower with a face, and then it became a thing. I ended up drawing like, this is the 3rd time I've drawn a dare coming in contact with a talking sunflower. And it's becoming like a theme where only a dare is allowed to come into contact with this talking flower. If I drew like Archie or Monty with this talking flower, it wouldn't be the same. It's an Adair thing. I don't know if he's going crazy or what, but I just keep drawing him with this talking flower. It has no story whatsoever, but it's a nice flower. I know that much. It's not like the Undertale flower where it like, well, spoiler alert, I guess, where it turns evil, but it's nice. It's a nice flower, and I feel like in this AU, they're initially scared of this sunflower, as you can see, but in the end, I feel like they'd end up helping the sunflower. Maybe it got like blown away from its family, planted in the middle of this trail, and people are scared of it because it talks, so they have to like repot it and take it back to its flower field. I don't know, I'm just making this up on the spot. But as you can see, this drawing made me think a lot about this AU, to the point where I was like, I could make a freaking comic out of this AU, but then would that be weird to make a comic out of an alternate universe if you haven't made a comic about the canon universe yet? Is that weird, or should I just go for it? Because I think it's a cute idea to have Princess Emilio and Knight Adair on adventures together, and I think it would look really adorable. It would be a nice story. I've got like a little story happening in my head. See, the thing with me is I have all these comic book ideas, but then I let them go too far to the point where like I plan out each character's entire life from beginning to end, and then it gets so big that I can no longer condense it into a readable story. I don't know what just happened to my voice. I was like, I don't know what it is about recording a voiceover. It just like ruins my voice. I don't know what's happening. Like, I can talk someone's ear off. I'm a talkative person, so I have no problem talking for like half an hour. But the moment it comes to filming a voiceover, my voice is like, that was a really gross sound. I'm sorry if you had to listen to that through like earphones or something. Just having that weird hissing sound drilled into your brain. Ugh. Anyway, this drawing. Let's talk about this drawing. It took a while, but as you can see, it's coming together. And the colors just came supernatural, like supernatural with Sam and Dean. Sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I'm sorry. The colors came really naturally to this piece. Sometimes you have to plan out your colors. Other times you wing the colors and it doesn't turn out that great. But this time I sort of had like a solid idea of what the colors should look like. And it came out good. And I was happy with it. The only thing that I was thinking about while I was drawing it was I feel like I should learn more about lighting, because I feel like this would just be on like a whole other level, I think, if I had better lighting. I'm not saying that I don't like how I shade at the moment, because I'm just in like a comfort zone with my shading method. I know it's not the best on the planet, but it gets the job done and it looks half decent in the end. But I feel like if I spent some time learning more about lighting instead of my very basic knowledge on lighting, then it would just take my art to like another level that I'm ready. I'm ready for that other level. Because can you imagine if I paid more attention in this piece to the lighting coming through the trees and all that jazz? You can't even tell what I'm talking about at the moment because we're not even up to that in the speed paint. But like when we get there, just imagine it and you'll see what I'm talking about. I really want to make a print of this. I just love how this turned out so much. And I want to make that comic. What do y'all think? I want to get your opinions. Should I make a comic out of the AU before tackling the canon story? Because I'm at that point at the moment where I have a story that is usable for this AU and it hasn't gotten out of hand to the point where I can't condense it back into a story. So I need to it's one of those things I need to either start it now before it gets out of hand or let it go, let it grow into like this whole thing that I can't condense back into a story. So let me know what you think, because I think that would be fun and I would be up for that, because here's a bit of insider info that I probably shouldn't tell you, but I will anyway. It's not that I shouldn't tell you, it's one of those things that like you want to tell people, but then if it doesn't happen, you don't want to have to be like, oh no, it didn't happen, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, I signed up for my first convention, but the thing is, I signed up doesn't mean that I'm in. I've like registered my interest and I will know in November if I've been accepted or not. So I'm not in. I am not in yet, but I've registered my interest. So I'm in with a chance, but I'm not in. But it's got me thinking that I really want to get into doing conventions. So I want to start preparing for that sort of thing. So I want to get a whole bunch of artworks printed and get some comics in the works and stuff like that, so that I actually have things to sell if I get into this convention. So let me know. Let me know what you think. 'Cause yeah, I've got if I get in, the convention isn't until May next year, so I have a lot of time, but at the same time I don't want to leave everything to the last minute thinking that I have a lot of time and then being like, oh crap, I actually have no time left at all. So I want to start getting things prepared now, because even if I don't make it in, there'll always be other conventions, and it would be good to have some things going just in case there's another one that comes up that I get into. So who knows? Who knows? I'm really hoping that I get in though, because it's like given me a goal. Okay, this is gonna sound really depressing. It's not meant to be depressing, but it's gonna sound depressing. A lot of the time when you're an artist, you wake up and you're like, okay, what am I gonna do today? Am I gonna make a new product? Am I gonna what am I gonna do today? What is my goal for today? And sometimes you can't think of one, and sometimes you're like, oh dear, that's not good. But then now I'm like, okay, I can come up with all these products because I have an end goal to sell them at this convention. So I'm working towards something. I'm not just aimlessly bumbling around anymore. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Even if I don't get in, I'll have like this big portfolio of products ready to go for when I do get into a convention one day, eventually. Just thinking about it makes me so excited though, because I love going to conventions. I love going to conventions, and I've met a lot of people through conventions, like a lot of other artists, so I love it. Here's the finished product, by the way. I haven't spoken much about this, but there it be. There it be. And oh, this one is redraw an old Inktober piece. So in the background just then you could see the one that was from last year, and I was like, let's redraw it, baby. Let's redraw it. So I just traced over the top of the old one to like get the general figure down, and then went in and like changed some of the proportions and stuff. I'm kind of on the fence about how this one turned out. It looks a bit weird in my opinion, but it's still good. I don't know. Archie's face looks a bit weird. Like, who is that? His head, maybe it's too small. I don't know. I really don't know. But that's just how it was, and it turned out half decent in the end. I didn't put as much effort into the background as I did last year, but who cares, honestly. Yeah, and it turned out half decent. I don't remember what I was babbling on about before this. Oh, conventions. Yeah, I've met a lot of really nice people through conventions, and a lot of fellow artists, and they've been like really kind to me. Like, okay, y'all, last time I went to a convention, so I know this guy who does conventions, and he kind of introduced me to everyone else that does all the conventions, and these were all people that I was like buying their stuff for years beforehand. Like, oh my god, these people are like the convention kings. And then he introduced me to them, and he was like, yeah, show them your sketchbook. And they looked through my sketchbook, and they were like, oh my god, this is so good, you have so much potential, we want to see you here next year. And I was like, what? Oh my god, the convention kings have smiled upon me, they have blessed me. And yeah, so that kind of motivated me to be like, yeah, 2020, let's get into the convention that I've always wanted to get into. So I registered my interest, and I'm praying. I'm not even religious, and I'm praying that I get into this convention, because it will be so much fun, and I'm very excited. I'm gonna be low-key disappointed if I don't get in, but also I have to keep a positive mind and be like, there'll always be another convention. Everything's gonna be fine. It's 11 o'clock here. In the AM. I'm doing this in the AM. I started filming or recording this voiceover at like 10 o'clock. This video only goes for like 25 minutes. It's taken me an hour so far. And it's not even done. And I'm running out of things to say. I don't even know why it takes this long. It's weird. And I was meant to be doing things today also. Oh, okay, here's something exciting. After this, I have to go food shopping, and that might sound like the most boring thing on the planet to y'all, but this is the first time that I'm going food shopping completely by myself. I'm 19, this shouldn't be a big deal. I probably should have done this already, but it's the first time that I get to go food shopping by myself, and I'm really excited to be able to just do it myself and zoom around with my trolley, put all the things in, and like, it sounds so stupid to be excited about food shopping, but it's like when you play with the toy cash register as a kid, and yeah, I had a toy cash register as a kid, and it was fun, and it just reminds me of playing pretend, and like, I get to pretend to be an adult today, and it's gonna be fun. And then after that, hopefully that won't take me too long, because I've planned to go have lunch with one of my mates, and then we're going to play Resident Evil 7 on the VR, because I've seen playthroughs of it, but I don't have any gaming consoles or anything, like apart from like the Wii and DS and PlayStation 1 and all that. So I'm going to his house to play it for the first time in VR, and because I've seen playthroughs, I know it's scary enough playing it not in VR, and I'm about to go immerse myself in it fully, and I'll probably die of a heart attack, because I know the sorts of things that happen in that game, and I'm scared, but I'm ready for it. I've realized whenever I go to his house to play games in VR, a lot of the time we'll play horror games, and everyone's commented that I'm like scarily good at these video games. Like, there's one that I don't remember what it's called, but you're on like a mine cart or something like that, and you're like going across these tracks underground, and there's all these like clowns popping up from the sides, and you have to shoot them and kill them. And out of pure fear, my aim is phenomenal. Like, it's literally, I'm so scared playing those games in VR, but all my friends are like, how are you so good at this? You don't even play this. You don't even have any of these consoles. How are you so good at this? And I'm like, y'all, it is the pure fear that is getting me through this. I don't want one of those clowns coming anywhere near me. So bam, they're gone. And we're not dealing with that today. So hopefully I can bring that to Resident Evil 7 today and do a really good job out of pure fear. Because I'm scared. If any of you have seen or played that game, you will know why I'm scared. Because there's a lot of things in that game that it's bad enough when you're not in VR. And I'm gonna be in VR. So yeah, that should be fun. I've had like a busy week, but a good week, and this is just gonna be another addition to that, I hope, because yeah. This week has been very busy because we've been cleaning up the yard. We have like a lot of like corrugated iron and scrap metal and stuff like that, like all through the yard, and old furniture, things that we just don't need. So we got a skip bin, and we've just been piling stuff into it, and it's just so cleansing to get rid of all this stuff and have like a tidy yard. And it's looking good. We're like two-thirds of the way there, I reckon, because it's one of those things, you clear a space and then you end up putting other things in that space to clean other stuff. I don't know. You know when you're cleaning and you have to make more of a mess to clean it? That's kind of the stage that we're at the moment. So we've done a lot, but there's still a little bit to go. But it's really exciting. And I am here for it. And it's been a good week. It's been a tiring week, but a good week. And that's why this video is late. But it doesn't matter because we're here now. And it's wrapping up. So hope you have a good week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Oh God, I don't know what that was.